happy to welcome you to this regional campus dedication this evening. I'm Dr. Mark Stanton, the Chief Academic Officer or Provost at Azusa Pacific University, and this is one of our important campuses where students come to study in exactly the same way as they would study on our home campus in Azusa. And so we're encouraged that you're here this evening, and if you're a student, we're glad that you're with us for this brief ceremony as well. Azusa Pacific has been in Orange County for a long time, over 40 years in total. Not all in this location, but many of them in this location. Started first in Garden Grove. We came to this facility in 1994. And so if you think about that time that we've been here, but what you see today is not how it looked in 1994. And I can say that because I was teaching here in 1994, and honestly, it was quite different. But what a wonderful facility that we have tonight for you to see and to enjoy and to recognize the commitment we have to quality education here in Orange County. Today, there are more than 20 programs in face-to-face or online environments in education, business and management, organizational leadership, and psychology. At this point in time, as of tonight, 238 students attend classes here at the Orange County campus. But who's counting, right? Several hundred online students also utilize this site as a resource for the programs in which they're engaged through the university. And as we are currently planning for expansion and growth, one of the exciting things I saw as I walked around this campus tonight were open available classrooms and offices that are not currently populated. So I have to tell you, when you compare what we have here in terms of space with what we have on the campus in Azusa, it's remarkable. There are no open offices and no available classrooms. So we have room for growth, and we're committed to continuing to sink down our roots in this community and to grow our academic offerings here. So we have programs in the planning stages for music and the arts and expansions of business and other creative things. And my hope is that some of our deans who are here tonight will also see the open space and be encouraged and excited to think about other expansion opportunities in this site. As you look at the facilities, you can see that tonight we have over 25,000 square feet, 14 state-of-the-art classrooms, a variety of staff, faculty, and adjunct faculty offices, 3 conference rooms, 1 student lounge with a kitchen here, a large study area with 5 group study rooms, and a prayer room. There are some exciting additional things in this facility, and you'll notice them as you walk through or go on tour. The students who are here have already seen them. One of them, the president will talk about a little bit later, but a 28-foot by 4-foot graphic mural in the hallway just around the corner, designed by an APU graphic design student and the help of faculty in that area. In addition, the classrooms feature scripture verses on the wall, each one chosen out of a kind of competitive process where they were nominated and then selected for application in the classroom. And then the chalk wall that you see right over here, which I think they erased just for tonight, but it's a great opportunity for students and faculty to put notices and notes up of encouragement, prayer requests, statements to others, things that will be a kind of community center for communication and interaction here on the campus. So we're excited to be here in the heart of Orange County. Look out the window and see the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles Stadium just over the horizon. But also nearby major facilities, major employers in this region, Children's Hospital of Orange County, St. Joseph Hospital just literally around the corner from us. We are really right in the heart of Orange County. And we're committed to being here as part of our commitment to this community and providing education and making it accessible to the folks who live in Orange County. So we're glad that you're here tonight. We're excited by this opportunity, and you'll be hearing a little bit more about some of the things that are going on here in just a few moments in our program.
My name's Drake Levashef. I'm the director of the Orange County Regional Campus, and I've got to tell you what a delight it is to work here. You know, we're part of a great community of difference makers at APU. We get to do meaningful work where we are really helping support people as they seek to fulfill their calling and get sent out into areas where they make a difference in the community. And we're deeply embedded here in Orange County. We love this area. And so I love the opportunity I have to recognize some of our guests tonight. And so we have some distinguished community guests. I know from the city of Santa Ana, we were expecting Councilperson David Benavides. David, are you here? Maybe not arrived yet? Okay. Also wanted to mention a number of for-profit and nonprofit business leaders that have joined us tonight. We're thankful that you came out. We have Keith Kratzberg, President and CEO of Epson USA. Thank you, Keith, for coming out. And we also have then Dave Elliott, who's President and CEO of the Santa Ana Chamber of Commerce. Dave's an APU alum as well. Jay Scott, VP of HR for the Ducks and the Honda Center, is here as well. So he's kind of the Honda Center, so you can see it right behind us here, and Jay's here. So we're thankful to have Jay here with us. And then Jin Sung, who is Executive Director of Oasis Center International, who does a great program for schools in Santa Ana. Is she here? No, she's on her way. Okay. So wanted to also acknowledge a few church leaders. We have some friends here in the community. I know we had some of the pastors from the city of Orange praying here a couple of weeks ago. I see Pastor Jack Miranda here, who's director of the Miranda Center and pastor at Living Faith. So thanks for coming, Pastor Jack. Are any of the pastors from Orange and Irvine here? Trying to look. Okay, not seeing them. So anyway, we want to finish by acknowledging some of our friends, in fact, the great community of difference makers here at APU. And so I know that we have board members, I know we have leaders, I know we have faculty members and students. Most of us are here, I think. Raise your hand if you're connected to APU in terms of faculty, student, staff, leader. Just everyone, just get a sense of that. I mean, this is awesome. That's awesome. How many of you are people have either taught or worked or studied in Orange County? Okay, it's a great number. Love that. Love that. Well, listen, we want to go on to the next portion of our program, but before we do, I'd be remiss not to mention one very valued member of the community who worked here to help cultivate the culture that we have come to prize so much, this sense of hospitality, this sense of commitment to service. And so I do want to take a moment and recognize in the back, Carolyn Rizzo is somebody that served at APU for 18 years. And we're just thankful that she's here tonight. Thank you.
Well, good evening. It's great to be here. My name is John Wallace, and I am privileged to try to keep up with all the academic and educational folks at the university. I'm the president at APU. Would you get this bag out if you have it? We're going to do some things, and you're going to want to be a part of it. Amber, where are you? Come up here. Oh, come on. You can do this. So first thing I want to say is that many hands worked to make this a possibility. Amber is a sophomore at Azusa Pacific University, and if can you take this bookmark out? Amber was responsible for the design of this. So if you turn that over a minute, and on the back at the very top are the 4 cornerstones. So that looks like an A. That stands for Christ, scholarship, community, and service. Those are the 4 cornerstones of the university. And Amber took those cornerstones as her theme. So I didn't even tell you I was going to do this. You're not going to throw me under the bus with it. Would you just tell us a little bit about what inspired you for this, right here in the mic?
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. So, for the 4 cornerstones, they're all represented on each of the squares of the mural. At the top is the service cornerstone, is about what I have represented is the hand coming down, pouring out, serving people. Second is community. I remember in the verse Drake gave us for the community one, it was all about how we're like coming together as community, singing for the glory of God, and so that's what I showed there. And then third, underneath that, is the Christ. So I have the Christ symbol with all the patterns in the background. And then in the fourth one is scholarship. And for scholarship, I pasted off of how in the scripture verse it talked about how scholarship is like almost like a woman, like enveloping us, embracing us. So that's why I did the angel enveloping and embracing us. So
Let's thank Amber for her good work. Well done, thanks. All right, so now that means something, huh? And since the artist is here, you might want to get a pin out and have her sign the back of that. If she charges a modest fee, you might be able to pay for school next semester. Reach in that bag. There's some more things in there. So I asked what this was. This is supposed to be a wooden coin. I don't know if you're growing up, I was told to never accept a wooden nickel. I was talking to some of the staff here, and they talked about how long it took to get this done. And I want to thank the staff. I want to thank those who contributed to get this completed. Let's thank them. Don Davis and his team and others worked really hard. So this may be a wooden nickel, but I see it as a round to it. You've heard that, let's get around to it. Well, we finally did. And isn't it great that Psalm 90 is on the back of that round to it? Psalm 90 does this. Psalm 90 unpacks the fragility of the human condition. Boy, haven't we all felt that? And in the same passage, it underscores the might and the sovereignty of God. So if you think about getting around to something, wouldn't it be great to balance our fragility with God's might? There are 2 more things in that bag, and they look like this, don't they? And of course, this is for the chalk wall that we've now become famous and we've heard so much about. Before you leave today, we want you to leave your mark in a meaningful way. So I don't know how we get 150 or 200 things on that wall. So maybe you don't write your treatise, but maybe you write a word of encouragement. By the way, how many students enrolled on this campus are here? Can you raise your hand if you're a student currently enrolled? Yeah. So you can write on this wall also, but I want everybody who's not a student, who saw those hands, to think of a word or a phrase that captures what your best hope for those students are, okay? That's why we exist. The width of a railroad ties going down the trains are on today were decided by the width of the Roman road. And when Rome was moving its empire into the world, most people say it was really done because of the genius of transportation. And it's interesting that the Church of Jesus Christ was being birthed at about the same time, and it was the Roman road that carried soldiers who had become Christ followers. I like to think of education as the Roman road that moves into culture and society. And even the width, the way education structures itself, impacts everything else that goes on. So I want to thank you for being a part of carrying what is really the mission of Azusa Pacific University, that we will advance God's work in the world, and we'll do it through you. And, APU is not Rome, but we are a part of God's great story in educating women and men for your purposes in his kingdom. Peggy Campbell is our board chair. and she is a business owner in Irvine and drove all this way to be here. We have a tradition whenever we build a new building or commission a new space. So if you'll take out your program. Greg, I'm sorry. Do you know what I did? I stepped right in front of you. Did you like the Roman road thing? I thought that was so, no, really, I thought this is so good. And I was thinking, boy, if whoever follows me could follow up on that. Greg, would you come up and when you're done, let me come up behind you? Yeah, I'll be like the Roman road coming back and.
I'm not sure how to follow that, so we're just going to start. Influence. Dr. Wallace mentioned the word to us. He challenged us, if you will, to, before we leave, many of us to leave our mark. There are things around us, if we watch carefully and we are intentional, we'll notice that it gives us an opportunity to leave our mark. Tonight, when I came in, some very thoughtful people had put together a bag that Dr. Wallace went through. And one of the things that left a mark for me, a long-time mark, was the simple piece of chalk. As a second grader, I was the oldest of 6, and we had one car, the family station wagon, the family truckster, as it later became called. But my dad was a high school teacher, and my mom needed the car. So we knew we got up early, everybody got dressed, and if you got dressed, you would get to walk with Dad to his classroom. And I still remember, I was the oldest, I couldn't wait to walk with him to his classroom, because as we took that walk, all of those students, those high school students he had, were talking to him. Mr. Plutko, how are you? Mr. Plutko, I got my paper right here. Mr. Plutko, you want to meet my new boyfriend? It was all kinds of things. And I was this little second grader looking up because that was my dad. That was my dad. There was influence. From that moment on, I knew, well, when I got to his classroom on a good day, the last thing he would do before he said, make sure you have a good day at school is, he would reach for whatever little piece of chalk was left, and he would flip me the little piece of chalk. Now, if you're the oldest of 6 and you have the chalk, guess what job you get to play after school? At home. You're the teacher. I got to be the teacher. I started that early. That influence makes a difference in so many ways. I'm currently serving as a superintendent, serving being the key word, as superintendent for the Placentia-Yorba Linda School District. We have a teacher who's an Azusa Pacific grad. And this year, she has a young student in her classroom who's very sick. And she's a third grader. And when the flu season comes, she can't stay at school. She's in a bed with her students in the classroom. And she's in with an aide in that fully included classroom. So all of you are going to be teachers. Open your minds to great possibilities. Well, the flu season came. She couldn't stay with the kids anymore. She couldn't be there. She had to go home. And that teacher thought and thought and thought, what could we do? A great APU student. And thought, and finally said, did research, there's a robot about this tall that we could get. And she researched it, she brought it to our district, and she said, this robot can transmit me teaching to her home. And at her home, that robot would be there. She could talk to the robot, and then the kids in the class would still be able to hear her until the flu season went away. That way, the robot could go out to recess, because if you're a third, second grader, how important is recess? That's way up there. So as you begin to think about influence, leaving that mark, there was an APU grad right there who said, I know what we can do for this young lady. And so we're through that. And this past week, that little girl and her family were back in the classroom now because that one teacher said, there's got to be a way. So somebody else was intentional when they chose this picture right here. A world of opportunity awaits. And I got to meet some of you as students. A world of opportunity awaits. This building is for you. Bring this building to life for us. Make it happen so your children, your students, and those beyond you will forever know your mark. Good luck to all of you, and thanks for having me today. A wonderful place, and this certainly speaks great volumes about what a great place APU is. And I'm a grad, so go Cougars.
Dr. Plutko, 117 years ago, our institution was founded by the friends that are now in Yorba Linda, and now in your school district, and it was in the Whittier-Yorba Linda area. So in many ways, you are full circle for us. So thank you for Yeah, you're welcome. And thanks for 2 degrees from the university. Peggy Campbell, our board chair, is going to lead us in the act of dedication that is in the first inside page of your brochure.
Well, as an Orange County girl, I am thrilled to be in this facility and see the influence of APU in Orange County, so thank you. If you will look in your program, and I'll let you read the dark parts, and I will read the light parts. We believe that by the grace of God, Azusa Pacific University was welcomed by the Orange County community and enabled to secure and prepare this facility. It is by God's grace that this task has been accomplished, and it is our desire that this educational complex will be used for His glory. We dedicate this building to the glory of God. To advance diversity by creating and enhancing a sense of community where all are free to learn and grow, and which is evidenced by ethical conduct and respectful relationships, we dedicate this building to the glory of God. To motivate students to embrace God-honoring excellence through example and leadership, we dedicate this building to the glory of God. To grow, sustain, and support a culture of scholarship and lifelong learning, we dedicate this building to the glory of God.
And what would a dedication be without a ribbon cutting? Dr. Heather Petridis, who is our Vice President for Graduate Professional Enrollment and Student Services, and somebody we rely on every day. Come up and tell us who will be a part of this.
I am so excited about today, and I wish I could invite all of you up here, but it's just like this little teeny space. It's still going to be crowded because I'm gonna ask our staff and faculty who reside physically at this center to come up. Those of you who are here, along with Dr. Stanton and Dr. Wallace and our board chair, and I would love Anita. And if there's any other deans, I can't see anybody out there, but oh, hi, Bob. If you could come up too, both Bobs. If you could come up as well, along with Adam Lipson, that would be fantastic.
It started out as a project for my graphic design 2 class, where all of us had to create 4 different panels of the different, based on the different cornerstones of APU. So I did my 4, and it got selected to be part of the mural. Like the large 4 are mine, and then like the other half is the compilation of all the different ones that my classmates did. The whole project probably took me about 2 months to complete. First half being like for the class part, and then the other half being like the finalization, making sure all the colors are right on the classmates, and but putting everything together. Yeah. I suppose the colors are supposed to like pop, whereas like such as like the community one where they have like the red background with like the blue in the front, kind of like makes it like almost like vibrate. So that was one of the goals, is to make not just like a static image, just make it move almost, yeah, with the colors. So the angel is based on the scholarship cornerstone, and in the verse for the scholarship cornerstone, it mentioned a woman embracing us, and the woman like represents wisdom. So when I thought that in my head, immediately I thought of like an angel like taking her wings and embracing. So the cross represents Christ cornerstone. So obviously I did a Christ symbol. Drake actually asked me to create a bookmark to hand out to people at the dedication ceremony, and so it just worked out perfectly that they're just little squares and fitted perfectly on a little bookmark, so thank you.